Hello. Is the moon a realm? Is the moon a 3D rock? Or is the moon a spaceship? Are people on the moon? Welcome to this live. Welcome to my channel, the Violet Flame Global Shift. Today we're going to be looking at the moon. We're going to be doing some tarot card reading. We're going to be doing some research. I have some articles of people who channeled actual beings that are involved on the moon, as well as some esoteric history from the Vedic scriptures, the Gnostic scriptures, and the Egyptian Book of the Dead. So stay tuned. Welcome, 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 everybody. I did forget to put in the live a welcome comment, so I'm going to do that right now. Drop your questions about the moon. And here we go. We are live on YouTube and Rumble. If you are on Rumble, go to the description box where it says description, and you can click in and find the YouTube link, and you can ask questions there. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Here we have, as we wait for other people to come in, we have, please like, share, and subscribe to this channel, and click that notification bell button if you want to get notified. I go live on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. and Sundays at 11 a.m. all Eastern time. I also offer private readings on Zoom or email. You can find me on the violetflame.net, www.violetflame.net. I also have a membership, which is about $9 a month, or there's a yearly price too. And I offer extended readings. Next Sunday, I'm going to be doing extended readings, exclusive readings for your country. What do you need to know about predictions for the month of June for your country? And then also I will do some financial predictions coming up as well. If you want to ask a question, if you're a member, there's a form there. You can go to the form and send in a question in advance. That's extra good, especially if you don't catch the live. And then we have some political and spiritual chat forms there as well. Okay. Welcome in. We are going to be starting on the moon. And I want you to know that this is an exploratory topic. This is not dogmatic. This is just exploring different I want to say realities, but different perspectives on the moon. Some of it's going to be ancient esoteric teachings from Christianity, from some mystics, Rudolf Steiner, Edgar Cayce. Others, it's going to be some alien type talk. So you just keep an open mind, and I will see you in the comments. Share whatever you like. Be respectful. Ask your questions. We're going to be talking about the general topics of the moon. Is the man created by source, higher beings, or is it man-made? Are there nefarious beings on the moon? Are there good beings on the moon? And then what can you tell us about the worlds and dimensions surrounding the moon? Just what can you tell us about what's going on there? And, are starseeds coming from the moon to help humanity, or to come to Earth to actually grow and experience the Earth realm? All right, so I want to share a little bit from a video that I have. And on this video, there's actually let me go ahead and get that sharing. But her name is Gigi Young. And Gigi is actually, she's had several past lives on Mars, okay? And she's a mystic and a clairvoyant. She's taught me a lot. She has learned from Rudolf Steiner and Edgar Cayce. And she has a YouTube channel called Gigi Young. And it's In Plain Sight, The Mars Mysteries. Of course, this is a series that she did. So right here, I want to start sharing a little bit about the esoteric and ancient teachings. Okay? The ancient teachings about the moon and our planets. From there, we can actually go in and learn about the moon. We can learn about, we can like build our topics, okay? We're going to learn first about the concept of the spiritual and physical, the 5D, the 4D, the 5D essence of our planets. And from there, we can go ahead and see how that goes. Okay, let me share it again and we will get started. And this is just a clip of her video of the Mars mysteries. Here we go.
So, there are a few key concepts here about the planets we need to understand. The planets are worlds that our soul incarnates into in order to evolve. Each planet is a different vibrational frequency. We pass through the various planetary bodies upon our death to integrate back into the cosmic evolutionary scheme. While incarnated on the earth, we experience the planets as spiritual planes, higher worlds, or higher dimensions. The planets are the physical expression and gateway to the higher worlds that they represent. Taking this concept one step further, as the cosmos is evolving over time, we can see each planet and star as a timeline of humanity, or even a lesson that humanity must learn, a specific developmental phase of humanity. This is because the planets and stars have formed in a specific order over time, representing exact changes or evolutions in consciousness. We can trace our past developments and future developments through specific planets and stars. Our solar system and cosmos at large is really a multidimensional schoolhouse for humanity. This is also why we humanize the planets by making them gods, like in the Greek and Roman pantheons. It is why we built temples dedicated to certain planets. We wanted to connect with a specific evolutionary influence of that planet. We wanted to connect with the aspect of ourselves that was alive in that world, alive within that planetary sphere. It is exactly why we humanize the celestial bodies through astrology, by giving the planets and stars human qualities. Part of our evolution at this time is to begin to recognize ourselves not just as physical people, but as spiritual beings that are intertwined within a multidimensional cosmos, that records time and the evolution of consciousness through its celestial bodies. Now that we understand that the planets and stars are very real places in which our consciousness evolves, that we are, in fact, interdimensional beings that have aspects of ourselves within these worlds, how does that change things? How does that change our relationship with space, with the planets? If we are innately part of these higher planetary worlds, if we spring forth from them and return to them, what does it mean if we think that these higher planes don't exist? What if we think that they're not attached to planetary bodies and stars? What if we refuse to see the relationship to ourselves? What does that do to our consciousness, to our soul? What will happen if we approach a planet like, say, Mars as merely an object? What if we explode a nuclear weapon on it? What if we attempt to colonize it? What are we doing to that aspect of ourself that is within that sphere? how does that affect our relationship with that plane, with the cosmos? How does that affect our inner world, our inner cosmos? And if planetary spheres are gateways into other worlds, other dimensions, other times, why exactly do certain groups want to control space? Is this why there is a race to space? Why does NASA and private aerospace companies hide information that they are discovering about planets from the rest of humanity? If planets and stars are portals, is space travel and NASA really an occult organization? Is it an occult practice? Is this why NASA was created by occultists that followed Aleister Crowley and belonged to various secret societies like the OTO? Is the control of space really the control of the human mind? As we quickly approach the space age, you will have a choice. You can view the cosmos on a purely physical basis, or you can awaken to yourself as a multidimensional being that is an integral part of the cosmos and in fact embedded within it. You can remember who you are and why you are here, or you can lose yourself in the ever-increasing pressure to validate only what exists on the very material surface of creation. Thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends and family.
Okay. So that was just a quick beginning clip that laid out the foundation of planets and the cosmos. Number one, in that video, she mentions that the planets have different dimensions. Okay, they have different spheres. And earlier in that video, she mentioned from the esoteric perspective, and this includes the Vedic scriptures, this includes the Gnostic scriptures and the Egyptian scriptures. It also includes different mystics like Rudolf Steiner and Edgar Cayce, who were looking at the cosmos. So this is the esoteric Christian or esoteric Hinduist perspective. And they believe and they saw in their studies, their research, and in their clairvoyance that the different planets had different dimensions. Earth has 3 dimensions. Venus has 4. Jupiter has 5. And Mercury has 7. And Mars only has 1 dimension. And when they go on to talk about the moon, well, when we go on to talk about the moon, you're going to see the various dimensions of the moon as well. So that was just a quick peek about how there's different realities to each planet. But first, I want to welcome everybody here. Thank you, Shauna, for being here. So many delays today. Today has been a very weird day. Please don't worry about it. It's been raining like crazy here. If only we could remember how to remember. Yes, absolutely. So here she talks about how the soul in the incarnated stage goes through the different planetary spheres to experience the different realities. And I believe the moon phase was one of the first experiences that we developed. Now, this is not the chart of how we pass through with the incarnation on every incarnation. But what this is a chart is that the different planets are places where we incarnate to learn different experiences. And at the beginning of the video, she mentions to actually get to know source, to get to know God. So the moon phase is one phase many humans have incarnated in for a specific purpose. Then we incarnate in Earth, and Jupiter would be some of the incoming 5D, 6D dimensions. Venus Arcturians, Pleiadians. Those are other realms that we have ascended to, but then we come and we can incarnate into the different planets to learn more. So I thought that was interesting. I think I would love to play her full video because it is fascinating, but that was just a 5-minute clip. Okay, one of the things you mentioned also at the beginning was planets can be experienced by the human soul as cycles. So we can feel them we can remember them as cycles in our life. We can remember them as experiences. We can remember them as places. So that's how we will begin to start remembering our experiences on the different planets. Okay, now I want to share with you something that Anti-Gravity-ish says, I missed all that stuff at the beginning. We'll have to watch that later. Yes, you will. And I'm thinking about doing the full video. It's only 20 minutes on another live. But let's go ahead now and share some interesting news. Actually, thanks to Shauna who shared this with me. And this is from his name on Telegram is Cabe, K-A-B. And Laka is somebody who I believe he or somebody channels, and he posts it on his Telegram channel. So let me go ahead and pull it up here because I want to lay the foundation for the moon. Okay. So here's a picture of the moon, Zeeman crater on the moon. Okay, I haven't shared that to you. Okay. Pleiadians told us about 2 races living on our moon. A malevolent mantis race called Tzipia, and a benevolent race of translucent human beings called Mias. The Mias, I'll just call them Mies, M-E-I-Z. The Mies are junior members of the Galactic Federation, and they build tunnels and crystal structures underground. They'll graduate to full membership at the shift as humans become junior members. So Laka says in this meditation or this channeling, we have shared many times of races. We have shared many times of races not understood on Earth. On the moon that you observe, there are complete life forms that would be visible, as well as many vibrational frequencies unseen. Okay. So what they're saying here is that there's 2 races and 2 dimensions on the moon. Okay, let me go back to the original part 1, life on the moon. And this is what's confirming in the video we watched of how we can see the different dimensions, the different realities of the moon. This clarifies that a little bit more. By Laka. Life on the Moon, Part 1. Beloved friends of Earth, in these moments of communication, we will visit the moon together. Indeed, this sacred planetary system of life in many forms is alive with consciousness. The moon is a living entity that allows life to thrive and be sustained by an enormous vibrational frequency. And that is confirmed in esoteric scriptures of old. All the ancient mystery schools believed that planets are living entities and that they have different dimensions, 3D, 4D, 5D, or different kinds of dimensions. The energy that is produced in the moon and fluctuates can be harnessed by other life, and it's significant for the occupants of the moon in areas far-reaching in your galaxy. There are many moons of creation, but only one that serves you in these moments. The sacred mood that is involved in your life in intricate manners of being was expressed in one moment by God's source. The life force of all creation has designed the human body to perform in cycles and rhythms of certainty. So it is with the moon and the ongoing interactions with the body. Many attest to feeling energy within their lives and bodies in direct correlation to the moon and its endless cycles. Now, again, I want to put a disclaimer here that this is one person's viewpoint of the moon as they channel in. There are other concepts of the moon. It's a spaceship. The aliens created it. Man created it. We'll look all into that. But this was beautiful because it ties in with the ancient mystery schools of old all across the world, that the moon is a living entity, has different realms, including a 3D realm, has the cycles. Pleiadians call the moon Myzeo. There are areas on this beautiful entity that express exquisite nature in vibrant colors. Mountains, plants, life forms, minerals thrive and are sustained ongoing. There are beings of peace that live among carved crystals. Art and music are enjoyed as Pleiadians are entertained as friends. I believe the Pleiadians are akin to either planet Mercury and the archangels. Okay, that's like that kind of dimension, that realm. Okay, their name is Mies, and their frequency resonates in octaves undetected by humans. They're in a higher density. So this realm that they're talking about on the moon is a beautiful realm, but we cannot see it with our naked eye. We can't see it with a telescope. We can't visit it if we would step on the moon. Areas of the moon are layered in many levels of frequencies, just as Earth is surrounded by what is known as 3D. There are also densities on the moon that are unseen, and they're undetected by those in form. Spirit is within and around all life and observes everything in existence. So it is with life on the moon and those in densities of darkness. The Mies were upgraded to light bodies. So that's that first realm that they were talking about, and those higher vibrational beings, which humans cannot see. They were upgraded to light bodies by the visiting Galactic Federation. They were found to be innocent of the atrocities of actions by other beings present on the moon. The Mies stand between 6 and 8 feet tall. Their bodies are translucent and their faces resemble humans. They have no hair and wear no clothing. They procreate energetically and live infinite lives with bodies of light. So this would be like probably a 6D, a 5D or a 6D body. The Galactic Federation has recruited many of these sacred souls to join as members of the light forces. Until the grand shift, these recruits will serve as junior members. The dedication is pure and they continue to share light throughout the galaxies. There are bases created on the moon that are magnificent meeting places for the Galactic Federation. These powerful intel operations are undetected by any race. Far beneath the surface of what is seen are tunnels with crystal walls and doorways within large rooms. There are screens with images of any galaxy, so they can view any galaxy on these crystalline screens and to observe the motherships. They can exchange information. This is sounding a lot like the realm that the Ascended Master Saint Germain goes into, a lot of crystals on the earth in underground tunnels, but it's like a different dimension underground. Also with Jesus, when he walked on earth and got his light body, he could walk through walls, disappear into clouds. Now, part 2 is where we get into the nefarious being. As we move beyond the areas of light, there are beings that are to be avoided. These beings are called Tzipia. They resemble mantis insects, ant people, question mark, and they are grotesque to all life forms that observe them. They delight in causing problems and chaos. They often hurl rocks at one another as they are scavengers for food and sustenance. They live approximately 60 years and incarnate back into their own race. They could have changed by embracing light, but their darkness permeates their being. They hide in rocks and caverns when the light forces are present. In your life on earth, you have been allowed to know partial truths with many lies. There is always so much more than governments and military operations know. There have been reports of mountainous areas on the moon. with possible structures and openings. How little is known by eyes that can observe only one density. Realize the truth of life that speaks volumes about life unseen to you. Knowing that the Galactic Federation moves seamlessly through your life, unseen and undetected, and it will allow you to gain a new perspective about the moon. This living entity called Myzeo, the moon, that's what the angels call the moon, is part of your life on Earth. With massive amounts of energy, the ocean tides are stabilized in rhythm, the temperature of the Earth is maintained, and multiple factors of body rhythms are affected with cycles and necessary changes for nature and animals. The moon is serving you well with a spiritual connection of sacred energy. And says, we honor the great Myzeo, and we present this respect to those on earth who have longed to have truth and wisdom regarding life unknown. And once again, that is you can find him on CAB, C-A-B, on Telegram. Thank you to Shauna for sharing that with me. Okay, so what really stuck out to me, I really want to emphasize, is the 3D and the 5D realms of all the planets. That means that there could be different beings when they say they come from this planet. It doesn't mean it's the physical 3D planet that allegedly NASA stepped foot on. That's a whole nother life. And why Elon Musk wants to go to the moon, or to Mars, why some of these planets are trying to be explored in a very 3D realm. Why do they want to try to control this? But what is, and as mentioned in the video, when Elon jokes and says nuke Mars, or, let's throw missiles at the moon, what does that do to the spiritual reality of that planet? And if we go and try to colonize the moon or Mars, how does that affect life on Mars when our DNA is connected to the Earth? Our Earth DNA as humans are anchored into the Earth, but the DNA of the moon and those beings are anchored to the moon. So how would that affect that spiritual reality? That's just the age-old question I have. Okay, moon people, exciting exploration, anti-gravity says, and lots of caves underground, I understand. Yes. Malevolent, harmful. Yes, malevolent means harmful. Malevolent, I'm sorry, I said that wrong. Malevolent. Ethereal world, I wonder how these two species are reacting to the Chinese presence on the moon. Wondering if there are others, not only the Chinese there too. I did not know the Chinese allegedly are there on the moon. I know that allegedly the United States went to the moon, but now we have nothing to do with it, allegedly. We can't go back. We don't have the technology. But that's a whole nother live. I wonder if it would be possible to channel Laka, or if that would be appropriate. Sounds like the real celestial sphere, not a spacecraft. Exactly. This being channeled sounds like the real realm of the moon. That would be cool to channel Laka or any member of the family of Taygeta, the Pleiadians. Okay. Yeah, that would be. We can see if we can get any messages in here coming in. That would be so cool. All right. So some of the questions that I have, and feel free to add in extra detailed questions to this, is I want to ask Spirit, tell us about the creation of the moon and the layout of the moon. Is this created by source, or is this an actual created by the nefarious beings? So there are alleged theories out there that the Anunnaki and the dark beings, the relatives to the reptilians, actually brought the moon in as a spaceship. So we want to open up to Spirit all of the possibilities so that Spirit can speak to us and give us a clear rendition of what's going on. And once again, like I said at the beginning of this live, this is just exploration. This is not dogmatic. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I think that I need to turn my music on. I need to get into the vibration here. This is a totally different energy. Spirit, what can you tell us about the moon? So Archangel Gabriel is known in the esoteric worlds as the angel of the moon, guarding the moon, and can have both masculine and feminine energies within the light forces of the Gabrielic Pleiadian light force. We have temperance. This is balance. This is also two realms. This is a duality of some sort. So this is what came out. The moon is currently being balanced. Spirit, what can you tell us about the moon? What is the reality of the moon? What do we need to know about the moon? We have work. There are manufactured, actual man-made presences on the moon. There is current work. I'm actually hearing the words mining, exploration, building. You can't get clearer than this card. He's actually digging into the wall. So there are definitely two different realities coming into this moon. Spirit, what do you want us to know about the moon? Spirit, what do you want us to know? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, here's the full pull. Oh my goodness. We have military activity, forces, and then a major shift, a takeover. This is a timeline shift. So this is military activity. I am not clarifying. I don't have clarity right now. Is this actual 3D military or is this spiritual military? So let's get further clarity. The moon realm had been blocked, captured, and held for a very long time. I'm finally tapping into the energy. But those who had captured the moon have surrendered, and there's a takeover. Future, moon. Moon. Okay, so what's the future? I'm hearing the pure essence, like the pureness of the moon. The moon is also connected to feminine cycles. And if there was 3D hijacking of the moon, it could have connected to our moon cycles, our menstrual cycles, our femininity, could have even affected the tides, the oceans, and it could have even affected like the old Atlantis days when the land sunk beneath the ocean. That's what I'm getting here. And that's going back to what Gigi Young said in her video. When we go into the 3D aspect of a planet and we begin messing it up, it affects other realities. It affects, and I'm seeing like the moon's energy is interfaced into Earth's energy. Just like Earth's energy will be interfaced into Jupiter's energy in the new Jerusalem or the new Jupiter, okay? Like they merge and they actually help one another. And so when structures are being built on the moon, it could have actually created a weird kind of cycle. And I'm just going to go real deep into the esoteric biblical text. When Adam and Eve did their thing and something happened and they chose to come into duality, there's part in the Bible that says the woman's cycle was altered. And there's evidence in there it was altered by the Elohim or the not so good gods that were trying to keep some of them repressed. That's just an alleged theory. It's something I've studied, and it definitely seems like a beings outside, but not source, messed with something that created a monthly cycle, because all the animals are on a reproductive cycle on Earth once a year, but the woman was set to the moon. And so I've always, since a little girl, had the suspicion that the cycles of the moon were messed with, which affected our bodies, and we're really not supposed to be able to have a child every single month. And I also feel that some of the difficulties in fertility is due to maybe some of these structures on the moon that's affecting the energy of the moon, that could even be if there are negative, nefarious beings on the moon, that would channel in, especially to the woman. Side note, something to think about. Let me know what you think. Okay. Spirit, I want a few more clarity. I just want just a little bit more clarity on the moon. There seems to have been nefarious forces on the moon, but they have been taken over. It's now in an independent and freed situation. We have the war card here as well. Okay, everybody. There was definitely a recent war on the moon, and that's not what I was expecting to see. Is this 3D or 5D? Which realm? Is this the lower realm, the 3D realm, or is this the celestial realm that was in war? Thank you. Okay, they left. The celestial realm went through the war. The higher realm, the galactic realm, went through the WAR. Wow. Okay, this is the star card and the other card. So the star card came in and forced them out. The sun card, a beautiful new beginning to the moon face, the moon realm. This did affect, I'm going to go out on a limb and say this whole war affected Earth in a major way emotionally, and possibly could have been like the early hijacking of the moon by the negative forces could very well have been the crux of what created the matrix on Earth, because it's emotions. It rules emotions. It rules the emotional realm. Wow. Okay, let me read some of your questions and we'll see if we can bounce off of that. And then I have some more. British psychic Craig Parker Hamilton has said that there are human plans to mine rare minerals, including helium-3, whatever that is. Definitely mining going on the moon. Definitely some sort of drilling, some planned drilling. If not, it's already happening. Is the moon being transformed into a galactic federation base to be closer to Earth and help increase our frequency to help us ascend? Or is the idea of Earth ascension somewhat of a hoax? Okay, let's ask that. Let's ask the first question. Is the moon being transformed into a base for the forces of light? For the Palladians, for the Mayas people? What's the future of the moon now? Is it what's coming for the moon in that celestial higher realm? Queen of Wands, beautiful intuitional energy. The black cat there, a resurrection of new life. There will be a movement away from something and a new leader established. So there's going to be a cleaning process. They're going to be cleaning out some of the old gunk of that realm that had been there. And I'm not getting the whole realm was bad. It was infiltrated and was manipulated. And there's going to come in a new leader to the moon realm. This leader is going to focus on the cosmic energies, the moon receiving and releasing cosmic energies. This is the Wheel of Fortune. It's her connection to the entire cosmos, or our galaxy, our solar system. So this new Palladian, or not Palladian, but Mia's leader that's coming in is going to be focused on cleaning the way the moon interacts with the rest of its brothers and sisters, with the rest of its realm. I'm also seeing moon gates, stargates in the moon, trying to become portals where it's easier for beings to travel through the moon, or to travel to the moon and incarnate there, to bring life there. But it's a very energetic focus of how the moon's going to affect the rest of the solar system, how the moon is going to play an even bigger role in our galaxy, and how to balance out its energies so that it's not so heavy to feminine energy, because the moon is referred to as feminine energy. The moon also rules the energy of silver on earth. Gold, the sun rules the energy of gold. The moon rules the energy of silver. So the energy of XLM and XRP. XRP is a digital form of gold, I've heard, and XLM is the digital form of silver. So we might even see changes in our minerals. We might see a release of how our finances can move forward with silver and XLM. And because the energy of the moon might balance out more our own minerals, because everything's interconnected. So the energy of woman also might change drastically. We might have a spike in fertility, women finding it easier to conceive. We might get calmer menstrual cycles. We might even get them extended so that they're not so intense and close together. I'm definitely manifesting that so that we don't have to put our young girls so much on birth control and force the hormonal imbalance of birth control. And so I do believe that over time, changing how the moon affects our galaxy and affects the earth, I think we're going to see great changes in this golden age. I think we're going to see great changes. Apparently, moon entities, Anti-Gravity says, apparently moon entities were also warring with negative entities back in 2011 and 2013. Every single time I have pulled cards on the moon in the past year or two, there was a war. There was a conflict. They were fighting. It's always the first card that fighting. And that blows my mind because that's against everything I was taught in traditional Christianity. I was even taught that the moon is plasma at one time. Okay, Spirit, what can you tell us about the nefarious beings on the moon? What are they doing now? What were they doing? And what are they doing now? And are they astral beings or are they 3D beings? Give us a look-see, please, Spirit. The Magician card and the Star card. So this is an alchemy to the moon. This is a changing of the guard. This is the guard changing hands and saying, we surrender to you and we'll join your side. Basically, it's a surrender to your side. In the past energy, this is the contract. So the contract of the moon has changed. What can you tell us about nefarious beings? We have soul family here. The soul tribes are being united. They're being healed and alchemized. The galactic federations have come in and are doing a contract system. They're bringing in treaties. They're bringing in new life, new ways to do life on the energy of Mars. Again, this is, I believe, in the higher realms. The Emperor card, once again, that leader. Once again, that leader is coming in. Leadership. The moon had very little leadership in the past, I'm hearing 100 years. Ethereal World says, are all planets related to some special mineral? I believe so. I believe so. I don't understand it all, but there's, Mercury and then Saturn, I believe, is connected to iron. Venus is connected to, I forget what Venus is connected to. But then you have all the minerals on Earth. It's just energies from those planets have developed and have like an interconnectedness to it. I actually once put silver all over my house, and silver can represent the feminine aspect. And there was way too much silver in my home because of my feminine energy. And I ended up going through huge emotional detoxes. And I finally figured it out. I was like, no, I'm going to put gold because I'm going to balance it with masculine energy. So I like to wear gold. It's very grounding because it's that balances it. So everyone can do what they want. But yes, the mineral kingdom is definitely interconnected with all the planets and is the basis of our physicality. Mineral, plant, animal, human. And so we need our minerals, we need our magnesium, and we need our situations. Okay, the moon right now does not have many nefarious beings in its celestial sidebar. I don't know why I said it, sidebar. In its celestial hierarchy, its celestial realm. However, we're getting a tower coming in. I think the moon went under a tremendous shock, which could be why we began seeing like different moons. Have you ever seen those pictures of two moons in the sky? One way to explain that is that one of the moon is our 3D realm, but the second moon behind it or to the side is actually a mirror of the 5D celestial realm. That's how some people explain the two suns in the sky. It's that higher dimension peeking in to this realm due to a shock, due to a change, an upgrade. Spirit, what is this moon energy here? This tower card, the war and independence. Yeah, the moon went through a tremendous time of independent fighting, tremendous conflict, and it's now in a stage of healing and reconciliation on the higher plane. Okay, Spirit, I want to see what's going on though on the 3D realm. Can we look at the 3D realm? Shauna says, I also didn't know XRP is digital silver. It's actually XLM is the digital silver and XRP is the digital gold, or at least it's interconnected with that energy. And so the connection with the moon, yes, very interested, which is why has silver been so repressed on the earth? Because the moon was being repressed or in a conflict. Yeah, did we feel it that way? So it was easy to repress and hijack it. The dark forces of that astral realm could also suppress it on this realm. Does that mean XLM to the moon in price is a good investment? I hope so. Galactic Federation, Mars or the moon? If I say Mars, I apologize. The research I was doing about planets had the connotation of Mars, but I am talking about the moon. If the moon is being taken over by light forces, will this facilitate disclosure, and how long might that take? Good question. Let's ask that, Spirit. Will we get disclosure concerning the moon because it's being taken over by forces of light? Death, transformation, the Devil card, Page of Pentacles. You'll get a little bit of disclosure, but I'm hearing the words not for 10 years. But the disclosure that you will get will be ancient documents coming up teaching us about the moon. So some of those old Vedic scriptures, esoteric teachings, the Egyptian Book of the Dead, is all these old books, the mystics, the channelers are going to bring the information up. But I don't think there's going to be disclosure on the world stage by world leaders or by major media for at least 10 years. I'm seeing 10 years. Don't expect it on the world stage. I'm hearing the words, there's too much else we need to disclose to help humanity, that the moon can wait for those who are willing to look at it in their own time. Unfortunately, we have to become spiritually aware of the situation of Earth. We have to learn about our own dimensions, our own spirituality, before we can truly begin exploring the realms of the moon. Maybe the moon has ascended to 5D, are we still in 3D? This is definitely what I was talking about, is definitely the 5D aspect of the moon. And yes, we humans, yes, you're absolutely right, ethereal world. We're seeing this from a 3D perspective, which is why we cannot see the conflict on the moon. You mentioned new leadership in regards to the moon. Are the Pleiadians leading in this respect? And has a leader from positive native moon people come forward? Great question. And then we'll go on to the structures of the moon, the actual 3D aspect. All right. Are the Pleiadians leading this aspect of the moon rehabilitation, and has a leader of the moon people come forward? I know there's a lot of treaties going on right now. The Chariot, the takeover, it's still in a rehabilitation phase. What's that? Reconstruction phase, like when one nation is taken over and they're rebuilding that nation. Yeah, it's still in a very struggling stage. It's being rebuilt. And this new leader might very well be a queen. I'm getting a queen energy, and that would make sense because the primary energy coming from the moon is a matriarchal energy. So I think that they're looking for a queen. What can you tell us about a queen? They have one in mind and they're protecting her. Woo! Yeah, they're not letting her come forward right now, or it's not time to present her. She's not ready, but there's definitely a queen here that is secretly being prepared to help rule this. This could even be a feminine goddess energy, a feminine, and I don't mean that from like the higher realms. I'm saying someone who's been in the moon realm and is becoming an ascended female master, like Mary Magdalene, our Mother Mary, our mother energy, the energies of those women, Joan of Arc, those who have lived on our earth and ascended. That's what the moon people are looking for, an ascended feminine presence to be a leader on the moon. Wow. And she's very protected, but she's gone through her moon cycles, her incarnated cycles, and she's going to guard, protect, and nurture the people in that reality. This is like an ascended master of the moon. Is it Sela? Shauna asks, is it Sela? And remember, according to the esoteric teachings, people can be from the moon realm, but they can choose to incarnate onto Earth. They can choose to incarnate into other areas. They can ascend and incarnate into the higher realms. They can choose to come back. But their core DNA would have had to be initiated into the moon incarnated cycles. You can't just dip in once. You actually connect your DNA to that planet. Like you've been invested in that planet. So is it Sela? Is it Sela? I really, really like Sela's energy. Okay, this is an independent feminine figure, financially stable. Okay, this is an independent figure. Let me continue. That's the leader, okay? This is the ascension, the rapture, the upgrade of the moon, and we have the Queen of Pentacles. So I'm not exactly, okay, we are getting a yes card. We're getting a yes card, but there's more. Okay, so I'm getting the words Sela's young or not initiated as a soul, but it's in the making. She will be a future queen. I know nothing about Sela. I'm just reading the pure energy of the cards. I have a queen here and an independence, okay? But then I have two leader cards, okay? Two leader cards. And the one where there's a yes card is she's a young girl and then a future leader. So whoever Sela is definitely in line for leadership. But I think there's another feminine energy coming through first. Okay. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. All right, now let's go ahead and ask about the actual 3D realm of the moon. Spirit, what can you tell us about the 3D realm of the moon? Are there structures there? Is it inhabited? Are there nations on the 3D realm of the moon? Is the moon inhabitable? Thank you. The Fool card, an exploration, a massive exploration is in progress right now on the moon. Okay, it's been going on for a while, but I'm hearing the words, it's too massive. Like this is going to be an ongoing massive exploration. It's too big and we don't have enough equipment to truly get to know it, but it's been going on for a long time. I am seeing China and I am seeing Russia. I am not seeing the USA. Okay, they're digging into the moon. They're collecting minerals once again. Look how he's got his shovel. He's planting seeds in this card. So he's digging on the moon. He's got his shovel. Ace of Swords. They're trying to declare ownership of certain territories. And something's going to happen to end certain operations. A lot of these operations in this exploration is going to end because a new energy is going to take over the moon. I'm hearing the words unable to operate. A new energy is coming into the 3D aspect. I'm seeing, the takeover. The takeover from the celestial realm is going to shift how Russia and China get to explore the moon in its 3D realm. Does that make sense? Because there's been this massive shift in the higher realm, it's going to affect the operations on the moon. What is this massive? We have that takeover, then we have a death card or a death and a rebirth because new energy is coming in. What's this new energy? A new family, a new incarnation, a new soul family, a new people, a new civilization. Spirit, what can you tell me about the civilization on the moon? My God. What's the civilization? This is a 3D aspect now. This has nothing to do with the celestial. The celestial affects what happens, but something's changing. Regret, death, avoiding something. And then we have the Pleiadians taking over. So it's looking like the higher realms are taking over who can colonize the moon. They're going to shut some things down. And I'm seeing energetic frequencies coming in that either destroy equipment, that destroy something that's going on, that makes it inoperable, some sort of vibrational frequency that doesn't coincide with their operation. But then there is a civilization coming to the moon. Who is this moon civilization? And are they coming from the earth or are they coming from a different... We have the sun card. Okay. This is also children, incarnation, new beginnings. I think they want the moon to incarnate moon people. Temperance, balance, healing. Page of Swords, the children, the youth, the leaving. Okay. Well, this is almost freaking me out, you all. But from what's looking like here is that the spiritual realities don't want earth people to colonize it. They want moon people to begin incarnating and growing and developing life on the moon. We can have connections with earth, I'm hearing. We can invite earth to the moon, but this needs to be moon people's moon. This needs to be under the rule and the authority the rule and the authority of its rightful owners. Those who have been initiated, that have lived in the celestial realms, want the authority of the moon. And they don't want to give it to low vibrational earth people who don't know anything about how the moon truly operates. I'm seeing that it's different than the earth. Hi, Richard. How are the locals reacting to the foreign human presence feudalistic attempts? Yeah, let's go ahead and see here the relationship between current moon people. And I want to go back to that article. This is a relic from long ago, that there was a large structure used as a meeting place for the inhabitants of the moon, Mies people. These are souls with lives and upgrades of assistance. We honor all beings that follow the light. And there was a malevolent mantis race, like an insect people, called Tazipia, Tazipia, and a benevolent race of translucent human-looking beings called Mies. Now, the Mies people were in the higher realms, and the Tazipia people, I believe, were in the lower realms, but also connected to, and there's a picture, look at that. This is a graphic. This is the higher realms with the crystalline type beings. Look how beautiful. Won't that be beautiful when Earth is like that? The crystalline underground structures that we cannot see with the naked eye. And this is a picture of a possible underground tunnel created by the insectoid people, the Tazipia. They're more 3D, I believe. And then these are the actual craters and then structures. You can see the video right there. Oh, he's going to expand it. You can see how it's almost like a man-made or a creature-made situation there of like an entrance into the moon. Okay. So that's the structure. Okay. Richard, hi. Who built or left the face on the moon on the backside meant to be assigned to man when he could travel behind the moon? Yeah, let's talk about the structures on the moon. These insectoid people, are there other 3D beings on the moon that are affecting its structure other than the insects and other than the Russians or Chinese or Japanese, whoever else is there drilling? The insectoid, I'm seeing large creatures. Yeah. Okay, the death card. This is negative beings, y'all. This is very negative beings that try to take over territory. This is astral beings. This would be, to me, the reptilian kind of creatures, Anunnaki. It also bleeds into the crystalline energy of the moon, the higher realms. I believe that this was a realm of like astral beings in between that can kind of like go in between and create havoc. They can go to the 3D, create chaos. They can try to go into the crystalline, create chaos. And this is what that war was. Ethereal voices, are the Japanese there too? I'm not sure. I just saw them. I felt them. China, Russia, and the Japanese, and I do not see the USA anywhere there. I'm hearing the words, the USA is more interested in Antarctica and Mars. Okay. The backside of the moon. Look here, not there. Okay, here's one side, the light side, and here's the other side. Okay, I'm seeing that the darker side of the moon was the base of the darkest reptilians, the darkest of the dark, those who did not like the sun. And there's a lot of structures there. I'm seeing a lot of structures. I'm seeing tunnels. I'm seeing even I'm seeing beams, like crafted architecture of beams and spaceship type technology and launching points and just weird humanoid AI stuff, like the reptilian AI human stuff. And I am getting a little human presence, but they were greatly messed with. They were greatly mind altered if they ever did end up on the dark side of the moon. It's a very nasty place, a very negative, very what's the that dystopian timeline of where we all have brain chips, that kind of the negative Star Wars, the Death Star from Star Wars, that kind of structure. And it's just really rigid. And the minerals there are so iron. They're iron and they're hard. They're not crystalline. They're hard. This was actually affecting the energy of the moon. Whatever's on the dark side of the moon, it's like structures and I can't even explain it. Like, it's buildings, but it's AI buildings. It's like picture a microchip on the backside of the moon. I do not like its energy, so that means it's very nefarious, very controlled, Armon, Antichrist type energy. Okay, yeah, the backside of the moon, cards that came up was the Death card, the Devil card, Queen of Swords, which is representing territory, contracts, and negativity, the regret, the harnessing of negative feelings. And you can see there's two sides to him. One side is very negative and one side is lighter. Okay, that's what I'm getting for the backside of the moon. Definitely, let's see, what's going on right now with the backside of the moon, Spirit. What's going on with that type of energy? Is it being taken over? Is it still there? This is like a bleed over from the fourth and the third dimension. The third dimension and the fourth dimension are merging on the backside of the moon. And it's easy to do this because there was no light. What's going on now with the backside of the moon? Oh, victory. I'm hearing the words, the war has been fought. Stress. Interesting, the war has been fought. I'm not hearing the words won. Soon to be won. There's a lot of stress there. It's still under conflict. Conflict card. High Priestess. There's a lot of secrets. And I'm hearing the Devils of Armand. And I believe Armand is also Enlil in some of the Anunnaki. It's an Anunnaki warlord. The Devils of Armand. The devils of Lucifer type energies have tried to incarnate and build structures on the dark side of the moon. Very, very weird energy. It's like it's half astral and it's half 3D. They're still currently fighting there. Wow. Which is probably why a leader has not risen up. And it's not time for the Palladians to give the full celestial moon realm to one of the moon peoples, because there's still current battles going on in this 3D, 4D aspect. Kick out the moon mineral raiders. So true. Okay. All right. That makes total sense. Let the positive moon people, now part of the Galactic Federation, revive the moon. Yes, we need the people with the moon DNA to take over. We need to do things organically. Kick out the moon mineral raiders. Yeah, that was funny. I read that. All right, let's get to your next questions. What is the relationship between the moon and the star seeds? So my mind is being brought to the celestial part, the 5D, 6D part of the moon. So I believe the star seeds would have been in there. I'm only seeing humanity coming in as the moon, the mineral miners, mining the minerals. That is the first thing I did see when pulling cards on the moon was, well, the miners and then the war from the 3D aspect. Spirit, what do star seeds have? Are star seeds coming to the moon? Are star seeds coming from the moon? Are star seeds going to the moon? What can you tell us about the relationship, the moon and star seeds? The Empress card. This is the DNA of the moon. It's like the Mother Earth card, but in this card, it's the moon. It's the Mother Moon. Okay? Moon gates, stargates, star portals on the moon. This is how they travel interdimensionally. Leadership. That's that leader coming in. They need leadership, and they need a proper military. So the star seeds are coming in, number one, to help with stargates. They're coming in through stargates. They're coming through those moon portals. And they're coming in to help provide leadership to the moon. So right now I'm just seeing star seeds coming into the moon. They're providing leadership, and they're providing warriors. These are going to be galactic warriors who are, quote unquote, disguised as moon people, but they're star seeds. They need to help raise the vibration of the moon, change the moon, bring in freedom, bring in blueprints, bring in a new way of life, and serve in its ability to fight spiritually so that the dark forces continue to leave and they don't come back. Okay, are there any star seeds coming from the moon to Earth or going from the moon to other realms? And does the moon have its own little star seeds? Victory. Yes, but there's more. So there's a big story to this. The Strength card. So I'm hearing the words, the moon people in that higher realm have developed gifts and talents that other realms have not developed, especially in the area of feminine intuition, guidance. I'm seeing the ability to gracefully, with feminine energy, handle certain situations. And so I do believe that there are people coming from that celestial realm that have learned the art of embodying their femininity, and they're coming into other realms. And something about the grace and the poise of, like, think feminine queen or princess. Think those Disney princesses that had that beautiful purity and innocence to them, and that also led their people. Think Queen Esther. Those feminine energies that are coming through, they know how to, they're very intuitional one. They know. They can sense, they can know everything going on about everybody else. They don't always say a lot, but they know what's going on. And they're bringing in that gentle, graceful, feminine vibe to wherever they're incarnating into. We have the Knight of Swords. This is now coming in masculine energy. And we have the Page of Swords. So we do have the young men now coming in. So the masculine energy from the moon, if they do procreate, according to the laws of the universe, they have masculine and feminine energy. So now there are young men coming in. They're star seeds. And I'm hearing the words, they're coming to learn. They're coming to learn from other masculine societies, other men in their life. So if there's a moon star seed coming in from the higher realms into, say, the Earth or into any other planet, the feminine are bringing their grace, their poise, and their intuition and sharing that with the world. But the younger souls from the moon realm that are coming in as masculine, they're coming in to, like, really learn the art of masculine energy from some of the other realms that have really tapped into how to be a man. And I'm also seeing it's part of their initiation into their higher learning. It's their path to become a star seed that can actually go and begin influencing other realms. Once again, I feel like this is a matriarchal society. Anti-Graviteer says, good evening, Richard. Don't forget to share your thumbs up, your likes. I think you're sharing that to everybody. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Like it, share it, comment. The comments help as well. Some say, Richard says, some say the Apollo moon missions were to see what the bases where we US developed special cameras where they were attached to the astronaut's belly, like the Kodiak cameras, and we were warned off. That makes sense because I definitely got at the beginning that humans have been doing exploration for a very long time, but it's been very tedious. Interesting. All the photos were airbrushed out to not reveal the structures. Some say the Dark Fleet Nazis were there first, and one of their structures looked like a swastika. That makes sense because the energy from like the backside of the moon, it made me think of the corrupted Atlantean technology, where they got so corrupt that the world ended up in a catastrophe and a flood. And then it's allegedly those the Nazis developed that technology. They began the art of creating genetic manipulation, super soldiers, AI, MK Ultra, and that's then trickled to Project Paperclip into the US with the C3 letter agency. But that makes a lot of sense. And I just lost a card. Is Trump and his team in touch with any moon beings or any members of the Galactic Federation? Let's go ahead and ask the first one. Is Trump and his team in touch with any moon beings? Is President Trump in touch with any moon beings, either 3D or 5D? Thank you. We have a King of Pentacles, a leader. Okay, that's that feminine energy I was talking about, the star seeds. I believe he has some moon star seeds in his team. If not, Melania had a few. Melania might very well have incarnated into the moon multiple times, which is where she gets that grace and that beauty, and she knows. And she does not like Elon Musk. And she's always so angelic. My friend has met her before, and Melania has invited my friend to go help decorate the White House this winter. And she says it's like Melania's energy is so calm and serene, but she is on point. She doesn't get run over. She doesn't let anyone push her down. She's not a pushover, but she's on point. So it's either Melania's energy coming in as a star seed from the moon, at least from the moon, and then someone else is on his team that's a star seed from the moon. We have military activity. Is President Trump in communication with the moon people? We have secrets. We have the King of Wands. So I don't feel that President Trump is in contact with anyone on the moon. This energy of the Knight of Wands is saying it's his higher self is in contact with some sort of Palladian higher self who is giving him information about what's happening with the moon. Sorry, it's a lot of energy. I zone off too, so I just stare at the screen and I see things in my mind. I'm seeing this moon feminine energies around him, star seeds from the moon, but I'm seeing he's in contact with some sort of Palladian angelic leader, and his higher self is in contact, and he's trickling in information. and he's curious. And I remember when Jean-Claude with Beyond Mystic and Cliff High began this whole research about the moon and about the Anunnaki being on the moon and this takeover and this conflict on the moon. They were actually approached by the Trump administration to give them their notes. So President Trump has a fascination with the moon. I even might be seeing Melania might be pinging on him like, you need information on this. And I do believe his higher self is in contact with a higher Palladian leader. But this is secret. This is hidden. This is deep within his subconscious, not so much subconscious, but it's secret, very secret, and it's giving me a headache, which means it's not supposed to be known to the public. This level of disclosure of Mr. Trump being involved with them. Some say Melania is. Really? A moon person? Or maybe his earth-based handlers are in touch. Yes. Yes. I do feel like there is some aspect of the feminine people on his team, or some sort of feminine, that are curious because they feel, they know they're connected somehow. She is very graceful and powerful, observant and watchful. Shauna says, awesome, the Pleiadians rock. Richard says, I've heard the Dark Fleet, aka Nazis, were behind the capture of humans for nefarious intent, and they were granted an Antarctica base, but the humans involved in that flipped the script. You know how many movies are out there of like captured humans and a secret outside base? I've seen a whole, it's just crazy. That resonates with me. That resonates with me. Okay, let's see what other, we've covered the star seeds. A lot of the star seeds coming in are women to help bring in that feminine energy. The star seed men coming in from the moon are helping to learn and develop the masculine energy, possibly to take it back to the moon. What can you tell us, anything else about the moon and its other worlds, dimensions? What do we need to know about this? I feel like it's two worlds. And is that why people say two moons? This is really a two world energy. And like I said, sometimes we see two moons in the sky, and I feel it's that 5D realm glitching in, and we're catching a crystalline glimpse of that higher world of the moon. Spirit, what can you tell us? Block, betrayal, a new beginning. A new beginning is coming to the moon because of some sort of block, hindrance, betrayal, capture. It's almost like when I look at the energy of the moon, it's almost like I see it channel, like not channel, but like re-channeled, like the energy of the moon going out into all the other realms, the earth realm, the sun realm, the Venus realm, the Pleiadian realm, all the other, how the moon interconnects. It's almost like the dark, nefarious ones would take the energy and like direct it in certain ways. And my head is really hurting right now. Very fascinating. That conflict. So the conflict on the moon, this is what Spirit wants us to know. The conflict on the moon in the past 20, 50, 100 years, okay? Even more. Even more. But we're kind of aware of it up to the past 100 years. Produced an emotional instability. And it brought fakeness to the front in the human realm. So this is how this moon war affected the earth. People found it very easy to be inauthentic, to be fake, and it was very easy to be emotionally unstable. The moon is supposed to stabilize our emotions, not create havoc. But this card right here is the card of low quality emotions. It made emotions come and go. It made emotions high and low. It made emotions unstable. It affected our hormones. It affected our endocrine system. It affected our fertility. It affected us in so many ways. it made us as humans very uncomfortable because the moon is like our sister. The moon is like our big sister. The moon was like picture Mother Earth, our mother. Well, the moon was our big sister. But there's a new energy coming to the moon, and this is territory being taken step by step. As the forces of light take over the moon in its higher realm, it's going to affect the reptilian that Nazi kind of feel on the backside, and it's going to chip away at that control, and it's going to trickle in and eventually bring life to the earth so that the moon people can incarnate there. They can incarnate there safely. Incognito says Crowley's letter and Trump's birth. And I'm assuming that's Aleister Crowley, who was in charge of CERN, I'm thinking. On June 14th, not in charge, but was like the spiritual advisor, the negative spiritual advisor to CERN. On June 14th, 1946, the day Donald Trump was born, Crowley wrote a letter to Grady McMurtry, a member of the Ordo Temple Orientos. Wow. See, we should do a deep dive into Donald Trump too, because I have a feeling not everything about him is perfect, okay? I mean, the man loves McDonald's. I'm just joking. He loves McDonald's and he hates vegetables. Not everything about him is perfect, okay? He's human. But I do feel he's got something inside of him that carries energy from his higher self or some sort of higher Palladian master, or he's somehow in contact with them. Richard says, ask anyone who works in an emergency room at hospitals during a full moon. The lunatics come out in full force, all kinds of havoc. Absolutely. Absolutely. In it, Incognito continues about this letter. Crowley expressed frustration with Parsons and Hubbard, describing Hubbard as a con man and criticizing their attempt to produce a moon child, saying apparently Parsons or Hubbard. The letter coincided with a total lunar eclipse, a blood moon visible in parts of the world, though not centered over Egypt as some claim. So to clarify this, I believe what you're saying is Aleister Crowley wanted to produce a moon child. He wanted to take a human, move out the human soul, and bring in a moon soul. Is that? Am I hearing that right? But Hubbard, and I'm assuming this is Ron L. Hubbard from, Richard could clarify, that's from the Scientology. Oh, I've got his book, L. Ron Hubbard, Scientology Handbook. I have it right here. And Hubbard was criticizing that attempt by Aleister Crowley to play with souls, to play God. This is the same Aleister Crowley that also was involved in helping CERN develop its technology to rip that open in the fourth dimension and let negative beings in. So check out the video I have on CERN about that. There's a lot of information is there. Such an interesting story. Yep, the same guy. Interesting that Crowley did not like Hubbard. Very interesting, because I believe the C3 letter agency hijacked Hubbard's work. So Hubbard was on to something at the beginning that was about the true spiritual aspect of life on Earth. No, Hubbard was doing rituals and Crowley criticized him. I see. So basically, it's like these two people are criticizing each other. And they're doing like okay, I see. As a con man with his rituals. So it's sort of like, who do you believe? Who do you believe? Okay, Spirit. One more question, and then we're going to go. Okay, Grok or Chat GPT can provide better details. Yeah, and it would be fun to explore that reality of that whole realm, but it can get a little bit very interesting. This coming Sunday, I'm going to do a global shift forecast to see what Spirit has to say. And then for my members, I'm going to jump into and do June predictions for your nation. So you can watch that live with me after the video on the membership exclusive page, or you can watch the replay. But I'm definitely going to catch the USA, Canada, UK, Ireland. I'm going to catch probably Russia and Ukraine and possibly even China. And if you have any questions, you can go to the question form and put your nation there as well. You can find me at violetflame.net, Global Shift. All right. Supposedly Trump was born from a ritual. Wow. Wow. Okay, Spirit, one more question about the moon. Okay. What can you tell us about the moon? Something that we need to know. Guidance on how to handle moon energy or what's coming for the moon. How is moon energy going to change? And how is it going to affect the earth realm? Thank you. Shock. The moon is undergoing or will undergo a tremendous shock, and it's going to affect the earth plane. This card's peeking out. It's going to travel throughout the galaxy. Because the moon is changing hands, it's going to affect the earth. Spirit, please give us a glimpse about how this moon energy is going to affect the earth. Celebration, victory, emotional foundations. The Hierophant card, that's our structures, our teaching. Soul ties, soul contracts are going to be affected. I'm getting a message. I'm just pulling out the energy. The lack card, financial lack, as well as lack of soul family, lack of connection, lack of emotional connection. The Knight of Swords, that's a whole different energy coming in. Spirit, how is this change of the moon realm going to affect the earth? How is it going to affect humanity? The World card. Okay, so I am tapping into the future, and basically with this military activity, we have also the structures on moon are going to end. The mining is going to end. Something's going to happen. The mining is going to end. Spirit's making a prediction. Take it as it resonates. This mining, this Chinese, once again, Japanese coming up, and this Russian kind of infrastructure on the moon is going to end. So it's going to affect the earth realm because we might hear disclosure about the moon. We might hear catastrophes about the moon. We might hear in the glimpses of certain nations pulling things back from their exploration of space. Something's not safe in space. So some sort of shock is coming to the energetic realm of the moon. And I feel humanity is going to pull back from the moon. So that's definitely one prediction. The other prediction coming in is that the moon made codependency very easy. This narcissistic, codependent, if I can't live without you. This whole soul contract was so intense that humanity hasn't been, it's almost like the moon glued people together. And when they would incarnate, the moon's energy was out of whack. So their soul contract was glued. And if they needed to do something like move on, leave something behind, learn a lesson, and then go on, it was very hard. So this is that abusive kind of relationships, the husbands and wives that hurt each other but still stay in the relationship. The nasty relationships between mother-daughter, where there's codependency, but they can't ever get away from each other or find peace. The relationships where they keep going back. That kind of codependency was very easy in the previous moon energy. that is going to fade, and it's going to be easier to balance relationships off. This codependency is going to begin healing so that it's easier for people to make decisions. I also see that something is going to affect our money as well. This moon change of the moon energy is affecting our finances. A change in our energetic fields and how money flows to each individual, but something also about hidden money or secret money. The flow of abundance is going to change. This is shifting the energy of money. This is shifting how energy flows. This is going to make it much more abundant and is going to provide some energy to help balance the new financial system coming in. Wow. This is going to help provide a lot more energy and abundance to the earth realm and help usher in a new either new currency or new financial systems based on the mineral currency. Silver, gold is going to balance out. Okay, so relationships are going to balance out. We're going to start seeing that maybe space exploration is not as safe as it once was, or some sort of pulling back, and something about the financial, the energies of our money is definitely going to shift as well for the better. Ethereal World says, okay, Richard talks about Hubbard. Hubbard ran away with Crowley's wife, and it could be the rift. Oh my goodness. A lot of drama there. Oh, let me go back. Claire, Richard says, I heard just the opposite about Crowley and Hubbard. But it was a ritual then that was not closed for who opened the portal and has it closed. And that was Crowley. So there's something about a ritual to open and close a portal. Wow. Just crazy abilities to be able to do that. Open and close a portal. Here I am just pulling cards. Here you are researching. Here we are just learning about this. And these men could open portals. This is crazy. I wonder if the positive moon beings have a message for us at this time, maybe through Holy Spirit. An ethereal world says, not sure how that works. Well, let's go ahead and tap into that energy. A good way to end. Let's see if any spirits of the light from the moon energy I'm really seeing Melania's face right now. I want a different deck. Spirit, do you have any messages wanting to come in from the moon people of light? We ask for messages from the people of light, interfacing with the moon. Does the moon have any messages for us today? Boko shiyayanda ayaboko sharianda boko sharianda. Shayaya babo shayakayanda. Spirit, do you have any messages for the moon people of light? I'm really just seeing like Melania's face coming closer and closer and closer. I see her thin lips, her beautiful eyes. Melania, do you have a message for us? Does the higher self of Melania have a message for us? A lot of cards are falling out, but I want to feel the vibration first. Melania, do you have a message for us? So I'm sort of seeing her smiling. I saw her mouth open. I saw her teeth. I'm seeing like a cream sparkling light. She's definitely a leader. So I'm just going to share the words I hear in my mind. And I hear these words. When I saw this card, I heard the words, we are an ender, a finisher of heavy energies. We end the heavy energies. It's almost like they can absorb it into their body. We are here to end the heaviness on earth. This is that Wheel of Fortune, which would be transmuting the energies. So the cards that fell out was Six of Pentacles, Balance, Four of Cups, that emotional quietness, and then the Knight of Cups, healing. And I hear the words, we're here for the children. I'm here for the children. I see Melania saying, I'm here for the children. And I'm hearing the words, I married him because of the children. I married him because I knew he would save the children. Her higher self knew she would come in to Slovenia, would marry Mr. Trump because of his mission with the military to save the children. And I'm hearing the words, we came for the children. We're with him for the children. It's that moon mother energy, the matriarchal energy. The next set of cards was Five of Pentacles, the money, the financial lack, the Ace of Swords, which is a new contract, the higher self, the authentic vibrational energy, and wish fulfillment here. So the message coming in about the moon people is like, our realm is very wealthy. I'm hearing the words, we lack for nothing. We have everything. We see your lack. We are here to help. Crystals of light, rays of truth. I hear the words, your higher self knows the way. Tell us what you want. Your heart's desire is connected to your feminine energy. So speak your heart out into the world. Share with us what you want. Let us know we have infinite abundance. We came to fill the lack. We came to supply. We came to fill the need. We have energies of abundance, creativity, joy, and love. We lack for nothing. We bring that energy to the earth. We are carefree. We are beautiful, and so are you. I hear the words, we are your mother. We are your sister. We are your lover. We are a choice. Choose us today. We will channel in abundance for you. We will assist you with channels of abundance. We will open doorways to the light. We will heal your land. And I'm seeing silver at this time. We will heal your land, your minerals. And I'm seeing glands right now. It's almost like they're bringing their attention to the glands, like our hormones. Your bodies need healing. Your bodies need balance. I'm seeing like a liquid or water. Drink more water. Infuse your water with moonlight. Put your water outside. Put your water in the moonlight, I'm seeing. Infuse the water with moonlight, moonstone, crystal stones. Put crystals in your water, and it will help balance your hormones, balance your endocrine system. Wow. Amethyst, I'm seeing the stone amethyst. Opal, some sort of agate, like a rose quartz or an agate, like those lighter quartz, the purple stones, the pink stones. Put them in water at night and drink it in the morning. Or put your glass of water in the moonlight, and it will help catch the energy of the moon in its highest vibration, that crystalline energy vibration. Wow. We have cleansing here. Okay, so the other message coming in was Queen of Wands. I hear the words, we are intuition, we are light, we are your knowing. I hear the words, listen when the moon is high, rest when the moon is low or dark. Listen and we will speak when the moon is bright. So I'm seeing like listen when the moon is full and just take time to rest and go inward when it's a new moon. So on a full moon, our intuition will be heightened. The lunatics come out, we come in. Interesting. It's almost like the portals open for the moon people to come in at a full moon, which I have heard babies are born most at a full moon. It's like the full moon opens a portal. So it's easier to hear your higher self. Wow. Okay. So take that as it resonates, you all. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to be on live again on Sunday at 11 a.m. If you wish to book a personal reading with me, that is available. Find me at violetflame.net or send me an email. You can email me. I believe it's ruth@violetflame.net, or you can just, if you have my old email, no problem there. I do email readings or Zoom readings. And thank you to everyone who tells me, reminds me to remind you to subscribe. Thank you. Okay, there were several questions I missed. I apologize. I missed that. Thank you. Thank you for your service. No, thank you. Ask if Barbara Bush is the offspring of Crowley. We definitely need to do a starseed exploration of our world leaders. Oh my goodness, it'd be fun. That was such an amazing message. I love them. Thank you for trusting me. Thank you. It gives me a good chance, and you all are an amazing, safe place to do this. So, all right. Until next time, thank you so much. God bless. May the angels and Pleiadians be with us all. Into the golden age we go.